Hi guys, Pete and Roxy here with you for 2024, and this is the year. So many predictions, so many expectations, so much excitement for people. But guys, is this the year it all ends? Is this the year of this massive change that so many people have been waiting for? Is this the year we move from 3D consciousness into 5D consciousness? It certainly sounds, if you look at the news, like something might be coming, right?
It certainly does. I mean, these big billionaires are building underground bunkers. So what is actually coming? If they're going to invest all of their money into these massive constructions, what does that mean for the rest of us?
Absolutely. And then, of course, all these stories of earthquakes being reported all over the world. I mean, what are these earthquakes? Are they natural? Are they being influenced by man-made activities? For ourselves, we get constant messages from space weather telling us about new solar flares almost every day. It's pretty much every day. And M-class, X-class flares coming from the sun. That radiation, that vibration, pulsing the planet. Is this part of the shift? Certainly, I can understand why people are looking to hear as to what our thoughts are on this. Certainly, when Roxy and I talk in with our private group and people who are certainly more and more aware of consciousness and what they can do themselves to help this planet move from 3D to 5D. In this video, we're going to be unpacking what you can do on a day-to-day basis to influence your own mindset, but moreover, how you can be of service to help and manage during this shift, if it may be coming.
So the weather is being manipulated. We have definitely seen that, spraying in the clouds, this beautiful sky, and then all of a sudden there's stripes in the sky. A lot of you watching this follow that, I guess conspiracy theory, if we want to call that, or the truth. And everything's mixed in with truth. They tell you one thing, but it's got a slice of truth in it these days. And yes, it certainly is something that is a tool the government is using. And is it, Pete and I talk about this, is it something to stop ascension? Like, is the deep state and the cabal, they're the wealthy, families of this world, are they aware that the Great Awakening is upon us? So have they implemented these weather techniques in order to stop the solar flares coming off the sun, to spark the codes of the individuals on the exterior of this planet? Is that what's happening? Or is it another great business scheme to create climate control, a tax perhaps, for more wealth and power? We often go through this and question this, because we have to question everything these days in order to be okay with what's happening on the planet. These things are happening and they are real.
Certainly, I feel like that is a really good point. Whether it is weather manipulation in order to bring in some sort of heightened climate change tax or agenda, or whether it's actually the covering up of the sky so that the sun's radiation can't come through and actually help the shift in consciousness, something certainly going on there in and around the weather. So all of us need to certainly watch, be alert for that, because I think there's going to be some pretty intense weather in 2024, certainly from the start of it here. Record rainfalls in Queensland, Australia, like records for as far back as they go, broken right at the end of 2023, creeping into 24 now. And last week, massive rains here where we are as well. Then we move over though to this whole idea of the feeling that something's coming. And this is something that I get a lot in one-on-one sessions with clients. We get a lot in our private community, people having this overwhelming feeling that they have, that they're waiting for something to happen, and that there is a shift in consciousness that is currently taking place. And I certainly would agree with that. I feel like the shift from 3D to 5D, while certainly not going to happen overnight, I feel like we're speeding up and moving more in the direction of that timeline actually happening and playing out, and that's very, very exciting. because from our perspective, you can't go from 3D straight to 5D without moving through 4D consciousness. Many of you would be aware that now planet Earth herself has moved into a 4D level of consciousness. Certainly that is leaving many behind in humanity, but that shift is important as we move towards 5D, correct?
Yeah, and for new people to this channel, or for people that want to go over some education around the different dimensions and what that even means, when we're in a third dimensional place, it's, you know, something like we call the matrix. It's we're asleep, we've got the blindfolds on, we're unaware of that we have a soul, you know, on the lower levels of the third dimension. We have this idea that we are just here and that's it, we exist. So we'll go through the dimensions. So 1D is like a rock, right? It's like the earth. 2D is like an animal consciousness, all right? Third dimension, the 3D, is a human being that is a soul and is, you know, operating and has the potential to have emotions and accelerate through an ascension by clearing the density away, you know, unlocking all of the emotional traumas and raising its vibration in order to start taking off those blindfolds and seeing around us. We move into awareness. And when we've done some inner healing work, we're moving up to the top of the third dimension and in and out of 4D. The fourth dimension is where we become self-aware, where we're being the observer, we're observing how we're behaving to people, and we're having compassion for other people. We're realizing we're an infinite soul having a human experience, and our heart is starting to open to show love for ourselves, for other people. We're moving into forgiveness, you know, those ones that you just never thought you'd forgive. those are the types of things that we're moving into personally. We're also seeing that the earth is shifting. So once upon a time, the earth in Atlantis and Lemuria the earth was sitting, and the people, the civilizations were sitting up in 5D consciousness. And when we were starting to move into manipulation of DNA and power and greed, the frequency of the planet came down into 4D and then dropped into third density. Now, we are all back incarnated now. If you're listening to this, you're probably a light worker as well, and you're here for a purpose. You're here because you chose to come back at this time to be on the planet, to raise your vibration, go through the healing journey and experience, and help the earth ascend back up into higher states of consciousness, and also help the civilization that was dropping dramatically. And you can see over the last, few years, we've moved in and out of war, division, coercion, manipulation, and these wealthier families and the cabal, the elites, these people that we are referencing, they are kind of manipulating what's happening. Now, these people want the control and power, and they won't stop until they get it all. But this is not going to happen this time, because the frequency, the solar system, the sun, nature is helping us ascend up. We're not dropping down anymore. So it's only natural that we're moving into what we call the age of love. And when we're moving into the age of love, it's the golden age. You might have heard the golden age, the great awakening. It's a cycle on the wheel. Okay, we have the silver, bronze, silver, platinum, and then gold, I believe. And this is a time where we're moving into the golden age. So it's only apparent that we're only going to be ascending up. And that's what is happening right now. We're moving into the fourth dimension. So all of the people on Mother Earth, on Mother Gaia, are helping raise the vibration by being scattered all around the world. So in order to ascend and rebirth itself up into 5D consciousness, there's going to be some shifts and turns. So the earth is moving right now. Whether or not it's manipulation from the deep state, the cabal, there's a bit of both going on, all right? There's a bit of fear going on to create chaos, which helps a person's emotion stay in a state of fear and worry and stress. That's with the tsunamis, with lack of energy flows, not having enough, the prices of fuel going up. All of these techniques is to try and keep the consciousness in a lower vibration. So the earth is now ascending up and it's shifting and changing. So this year, the sun is helping us transcend these things, because once we're aware of these typical these things that are playing out on the planet, they're no longer in the blindfold. They're no longer dead consciousness. We're aware. And once you see this awareness, it can no longer play out.
As humanity makes this shift from 3D to 5D, as we move through what's called the choosing, moving from being service to self orientated into more service to others orientated, we start to notice more and more that we start to tap into 5D consciousness. And of course, a 5D earth is the level of wisdom. It's the level of togetherness, compassion, empathy, understanding, where everyone works as a whole to help the whole, and of course move towards this level of vibration where it's actually no longer possible to experience the negative. Souls are told that by the time we reach the 6th dimension, there is no longer the positive and the negative. They merge back together as one, the cycle being complete. Hence the term the golden age, a beautiful time of collective consciousness on the planet, instant manifestation, and of course of things flourishing. So these timelines that we're moving towards are very much timelines that we are able to influence as individuals. Hence the power of the light worker, the power of what I would even call the light warrior. Rather than people just sitting back and observing and thinking, wow, this is going to be a wild ride, people actually getting in there and doing work on themselves first as individuals to clear out what might be stopping their progress. And often we know what this is. We have trauma from our childhood. We have underlying self-defeating negative patterns that are beyond negative thinking. They sort of more lie within the sabotage or the covert thinking habits and even intergenerational patterns that go through our DNA and our timeline that are influencing our ability to free ourselves and move into these higher levels of consciousness. And this is what Roxy and I have become very good at being able to help people to identify, because as we have done the work ourselves, we have found that we're able to help other people grow and expand, and we do this together. It's the nature of being of service to others. So we really help people to move into that sort of paradigm, that mindset, that shift in their life where they're focused more and more on being the best version of themselves, raising their vibration personally in their day-to-day, but then using that high vibration to actually shift their action out there in the world to be able to help make the world a better place through sharing their kindness, their love, their empathy, their understanding, that spark of the divine that is them coming out more in their day-to-day life. And that ability to be able to touch others has a massive balancing out effect when we talk about the scale of consciousness. Tens of thousands of negatively polarized beings that are suffering, struggling, barely surviving, and carrying out other very low 3D acts can be counterbalanced by other human beings simply displaying very high vibrational characteristics as part of their natural day-to-day life. There is this cycle of shift and change certainly happening on the planet, and certainly the sun and our galaxy is part of this cycle, assisting the shift in humanity. And then of course there are the higher vibrational beings that are assisting humanity through this shift and change as well. Higher levels of consciousness, the angelic realm, and certainly the Pleiadians, Arcturians, Sirians, Andromedans, higher vibrational levels of consciousness trying to assist humanity to shift and change. We can ask for help from these higher levels of consciousness as well to give us support and guidance for our shift, correct?
And they certainly are on standby. So reaching out and setting the intention to connect with them and show them where they are in the sky, going out at night time, having a look and looking for them and connecting and asking if it's safe to be seen, come on down. And you will see lights in the sky. This is something that 4D into 5D and 6D this is all about our galactic connection with our star brothers and sisters. And we are capable of remote viewing and telepathically communicating with these beings. So if you want to learn how, we do a digital course and a live training, a galactic training, the How to Medbed course, where we teach you how to move into these communications, how to raise your vibration, heal, and drop some density in order to reach these levels and these dimensions. And we are Pete and Roxy, and it's www.awakening.education. And if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you get all of our notifications when we do post new videos. And yeah, have a beautiful 2024. Set the intention, set your routine, meditate daily, high consciousness, and enjoy the experience. We have to trust the process, be patient. It's all unraveling in divine time. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And that's for us, enough from us, hey?
Oh, that's enough for us. Bye for now, guys.
Bye.